Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Obviously, we came down quite a bit today. I don't think we have much more clarity than in the last video, but we want to talk about options again. Yeah, obviously with the break below support yesterday, Bitcoin shouldn't have made another low. Yeah, not in the scenario that we had. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take off this support because I highlighted to you in the last video that Bitcoin in the scenario that we had yesterday on the chart on the lower time frame, a break below 29.1k would obviously invalidate the scenario, and we cannot go with the previous one anymore. However, not much changes at the moment and the structures are still pretty much intact. But of course, I cannot rule out that this is the start, let's say, of a larger move to the downside. And we talked about the alternative counts in previous videos anyway. Yeah. But overall, the bigger picture, nothing changes, at least not yet. So we're going to take a look at options in this video. Again, things are still very much in movement because we are probably just coming down in an impulse here. So bear in mind that things can change quite quickly at the moment, and it's often better to let the things settle first before fixing a new count on the chart. So we talk about options. I won't make any significant changes on the chart right now, not yet, because it has dropped, but it hasn't dropped far enough to invalidate a larger bullish case and so on, and things are still very much in movement. But it's worth, from a risk management point of view, to know about the critical levels on the Bitcoin chart. First of all, remember that we always said that all these 1-2 setups here, and I took some now off with the latest adjustment, were a little bit strange, yeah, and it was not the highest quality price action really that we saw of the Bitcoin chart of Bitcoin. So there was a bit of a warning. That's why I did highlight in the last few days these alternatives to talk about risk management in basically every video, because it's so important to take profits along the way. Some of you might have done it, some not. It depends. It's a personal decision, right? If you take profits or not. But it's always worth keeping that in mind. Now, we've got different options now here on the chart, and let's talk about the bullish options first. And there are lots of opinions at the moment. Lots of opinions, and I always think it's worth staying objective. Just looking at the options we have, the invalidation points and the possible turning points. But lots of opinions, someone's telling me it's an ending diagonal, someone's telling me it's a leading diagonal, someone's telling me we make new lows, and yeah, all of that is possible. It's all possible, unfortunately. But what we do in these videos is we identify the relevant invalidation points for each of the scenarios, so you can use that for trading if you want to. Yeah, you don't need to, of course, but it allows you to measure your risk, and it allows you to identify targets, or we talk about targets based on the current scenarios, obviously, and if the count follows the scenario, that means the price should get to that point, for example, and it allows you to make decisions about profit taking as we go along. Now, first of all, you can see that Bitcoin got rejected from our resistance up here yesterday. Would have been great to push through it, but Bitcoin failed. So the imminent, I think we had a wave 4 sit here, yeah, but it came down lower. Now that doesn't invalidate a fourth wave, but I would have to count it as a diagonal pattern. In a diagonal, however, another high is possible, and another high is actually possible as long as we hold above 27,250, the wave 2 low. Yeah, but I actually don't want it to go below this structure here. I don't want it to go below 27,800. Yeah, plus minus a few dollars depending on the exchange. Yeah, I don't want it to go below these swing lows here. So below that level, or until we go down below 27,800, I would consider this a diagonal pattern. Yeah, with one more high possible and likely. But any diagonal is difficult because in diagonals you deal with unreliable corrective structures. Okay, so be aware of that. Now, do we talk about a leading or an ending diagonal? Next question. Difficult. Yeah. with an ending diagonal, it would be quite bearish. Okay, an ending diagonal would be quite bearish. That would probably lead to new bear market lows in a C wave. However, in this structure here that I have, basically a 1-2 and then another 1-2 setup, because this 5-wave move would be another wave 1, it would be the diagonal. See, I don't want to put too many waves on the chart, it will confuse people. But in a leading diagonal, it would basically be this blue count would be a wave 1 of the larger wave 3. And because I have 5 waves up in each of these, I consider it rather a leading diagonal at the moment. Of course, don't know, right? Of course, I don't know. But I go with this count now as long as we're holding 27.8K. What happens below that level? Below that level, we go with a count that here, all of this was a wave 1 and we come down in a wave 2. So below 27.8K, we have to consider the support is going to become this area here, between 22K and 25.3K in an alternative wave 2. If we lose that level as well, then the green box will become relevant again. And only below the green box, the green long-term accumulation area or trend reversal area, which worked out on the 10th of March, I would be focused very much on new bear market lows. I will focus on it before, but only then it will really become primary. Yeah, unless the structure does something really bearish now. I think these are the levels we need to be watching out for. Yeah, so to keep it simple, okay, to keep it very simple, and I hope that helps a lot of people. There's something like this can happen, or something like this, or, and I leave the green box where it is, but it would be something like that. These are the 3 bullish options we have. And really, I try to make it as simple as possible, because nobody knows in these markets what's going to happen. That's why I posted a few days ago on Twitter, just to fuel everybody's brains a little bit with risk management ideas, that really in the markets, expect everything. Yeah, expect the unexpected. You have to be prepared for anything. The market can do anything. You know, there's just too many variables. You don't know if there's a whale who's going to manipulate the market and is going to trigger a huge dump. Yeah, you don't know. I don't know. In every trade, the traders are different. So every pattern works always out a little bit different. But overall, across 100 patterns that we look at, you know, we know that if we have an impulse and a correction down, it should work out in like 70% or 80% of cases, right? But always expect the unexpected. And only if you do that, if you acknowledge that anything can happen in markets, only then you can focus really on your risk management. Too many people expect a certainty, and it just simply doesn't exist. Yeah, you have to know all these scenarios, and then you can work on your risk management, and you can decide, you know, when do you want to take profits. But when you take profits is an individual decision. There is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. Yeah, but it's all about portfolio management then. But yeah, you know, we've got these levels here. They should be pretty clear, and I really make it as I try to really make it as clear as possible and as simple as possible. But markets are complex, so it's sometimes more complex than many people like it to be. Okay, so I'll leave that box on the chart now. Here we've got wave 4. I've got just that hard line there because in diagonals setbacks are you know, a little bit unreliable, but ideally it doesn't go below 27.8K. And now we can move into the micro level, micro count. And if we look at the micro count, I mean, at the moment, I'm very much focused still on the blue count, okay? Because this is not invalidated. So I'm looking here at this move down then possibly as an A wave, the move up as a high B wave, and the move down now as a C wave. Now, looking at targets, the very first target would be the 1-to-1 ratio is 28,574. Okay. And then we've got the 1.618 extension at 27,386. They're purely levels to watch. That would, however, be below the 27.8K level, so it's just something to watch for now. But the 1-to-1 ratio is certainly an important one. Doesn't mean it has to turn around there, but it means it's something to watch. And if we look at the subwave structure now, I think we've got here a wave 1 in C, a wave 2 in C. Looks like we haven't got wave 3 finished quite yet. Then a 4 and a 5. Why do we not have wave 3 finished? Well, typically after wave 3, which is the longest one, you should get one more leg down. So it's most likely something like that. Maybe here the again a wave 1 leading diagonal, maybe, you know, wave 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just an attempt at the moment based on what I see. These micro counts, they can shift quite a bit. But yeah, I gave you the 1-to-1 ratio. Let's see if we find a reaction there. But for now, I do think short term we need to be focused further on the downside. The bounce is not over yet. Okay. I mean, not the bounce. The move down is not over yet. When would be the, by the way, when would be the first, when can we say that possibly this correction down is over? Well, to be honest, I want to see first. Often the 50% retracement gives you a clue. So I want to see a break above 29,740 for a first indication that the move down is over. But for now, we're not there yet, and it's quite impulsive still. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.